What happened to my baby's face, looking so dull? He asked as he was drying your hair with a hairdryer. Aren't you going on a mission tomorrow? Yes, baby. Will it take long to come back like last time? I'm coming as early as I can and it feels late to you. Before our wedding, I used to come back 2 months after the mission and now I'll be back in a week. Did that sound like a big time to you? Even one day is a big wait for me, and here it's 1 week. You don't have any problem. Good question. Will I be very free? I'm more worried than you. Even when I fight with enemies there, my whole mind is here. That's why I leave everything else to my members and come back quickly. Free. And yet you think I have no problem? I'm sorry. I don't know. My thoughts are traveling past me. You're going on a dangerous mission. I'll be on fire until you come back. Can you stay away from this? I already cancelled 2 international deals as I had to go abroad for you. But this, no way, man. If I'm not with them, it will affect their courage. But nothing he said changed you. Your face was sad. Your husband is the most intelligent and powerful person in the world, man. I'll be back soon, love. Please cheer up. This is how good wives and their husbands will work. Your smile is my joy and courage. So smile, please. He burst out laughing as he pretended to make a camera out of his fingers and took your photo. It's getting late. I want to leave early in the morning. Shall we sleep? She nodded and he kept the dryer away and laid on the bed first and then stretched out his hands for you. You crawled up to him and snuggled in his chest as he tightly held you in his embrace. Even though both of you are from Mafia families, you were not interested in this stuff. You wanted a normal man as your life partner, but you fell in love with this Mafia boss, who is the son of your father's best friend, and today you are his wife. You are still not interested in the Mafia ways, but because of your love for him, you are taking it all in. He loves you in a way that there is no other girl in this world after you, but there is one thing he does to you that you don't like at all. Scolding you. All you expect from him is love, so you don't like him scolding you not even in a small way. You know it's a rant, but somehow you can't stand it. You are very fond of painting, so he even arranged a special room to support your artistic talent. While you were engrossed in your painting, you heard someone knocking on the door. Come in. The door opened and a maid walked in and bowed her head in respect. Madam, Mr. John is back. Your eyes were fixed on the canvas, but as soon as you heard his name, your eyes fell on her with wonder. Really? He came before the said day. Oh, I can't wait to see him. Handing the paint palette over to the maid, you quickly ran out of there. Changok was pacing in the room, running his fingers through his hair in frustration. He was angry that a member he trusted had leaked all the plans to his enemies, but still he did not give up in front of his enemies, but for a long time he had to falter because of the thought of losing everything. Sir, the manager of Frank & Co. is on the line. He has something urgent to talk to you. He came up with something urgent, but the piercing look he got from his boss made him take 2 steps back. I am not harmed yet. Don't come in unless I say so. I may not leave you alive. Get out. His secretary left the room half-dead at the vehemence of his words. At the same time, you walked into the room without any clue of what happened, and he was back facing you. You only remember walking up to him without making a sound and patting him on the shoulder. You then closed your eyes at the hard slap on your cheek. Didn't I just... His eyes and mouth dropped wide open as he realized whom he slapped. Your eyes caught fire in his strong blue. Tears immediately burst out of you, which made him wipe his face harshly in the big mistake he made. One, I'm really sorry. I didn't know you were the one behind. I thought it was my... I don't want to hear anything. Is this what I have been waiting for? Anyway, thank you. You left the room crying without letting him say anything. He's now completely out of control that he clenched his fist and punched hard on the glass shelf nearby and it shattered into pieces. Oh God, I slapped her with all my strength. Her cheeks must have. I made a mistake that should never be made. He entered the room in a tired state, and when he came, he saw you still crying unbearably. His heart broke as the marks of his hands on her cheeks were red like blood. Seeing him, you turned your face away harshly to the other side. As he slowly walked over and sat on the bed, you jumped up and stood away in disgust. Please let me speak, Princess. Do you think I'll do that on purpose? Do you think I'll slap you this life with my hands? I can't, Wyan. I don't want to talk to you, Jungkook. The thing you said you'd never do has happened and there's no need to talk about it. Try to get some rest. Not only did you leave the room again, you didn't have your dinner, you slept alone in the guest room, and all this was affecting him very badly. He's ready to apologize and make amends many times for the wrong he did, but you didn't give him a chance. You are completely ignoring him for almost a week now. You don't talk to him. You turn your face whenever you see him and eat dinner before him and go to sleep in the guest room. You don't even realize that you're exhausting him so much that he can't even pay attention to his office work. Shagok was doing something on his laptop and suddenly some footsteps caught his attention and he saw you coming down the stairs getting dressed and ready to go out. You ignored him and headed towards the door, but where are you going? Why do you care wherever I go? Changok rolled his eyes before standing up, placing his laptop aside. And who should care? Have you hired someone from outside? I didn't ask to fight. You need security when going out. I can arrange someone or I can come with you. I'm not a little kid and I know how to go out alone. You'll get many other opportunities to lash out, but waiting outside are my countless enemies and I have a little trouble letting you out alone. He's not taking revenge for you ignoring him, but when it comes to his safety, he can only be strict. A few days ago, I understood how you really care for me, so I don't want to go into it anymore. I want to go alone. I don't need anyone's help. You got out of there like you didn't care about the words he said, and you didn't even use a car there. You went on foot as a protest. What is she up to? And what should I do now? Shall I follow her over her will? Shall I pretend like I haven't seen her stepping out of this house? Or wait to see how far she'll go with this rant? Suddenly his phone started ringing. He put the phone to his ear without even looking at the caller ID. Hello, Jeon here. I know Shako. I dialed this number because I knew that. He immediately recognized the owner of that beastly voice. What the do you want, Savior? I don't need anything, but I have already got one that I fell for. Your wife, Jungkook, or I can say Jeon Wyan. Is this how you keep your wife safe? Don't you know that once she steps out of that gate, there will be eagle eyes following her? Something makes me feel so happy as if I got the world's most beautiful woman in my arms. Thank you, Jungkook, for letting her out. If you even dare to touch her, I'll take your life, Savior. I'm warning you. I already touched her, Jungkook. But I can't say for sure if I'll do anything further because her perfectly carved curls are attracting me like hell. Can you tell your wife not to be so sexy? You, you are fucking talking about my wife. Don't shout too much. Remember, your wife is with me. I'll leave her, but I want my containers back and the millions with drugs in them as well within 1 hour, or else your beautiful wife is going to pay me for it. Saying this, he hung up the phone and without thinking further, Jungkook immediately took the car. You are trapped in the presence of the biggest the world has ever seen. That's what scares him the most, and he calls his members on the phone and instructs them to get those containers back to Xavier on the way. You were immobilized in a chair in an unrecognizable place with your hands tied behind your back and your legs tied together with two chair legs. You started sweating profusely as a man walked up to you who looked terrifying. You're sweating too much, Ryan. Are you sweating like the same when you're under him? You turn your face to the other side in disgust hearing his dirty talk. You know, Ryan, your husband is the luckiest. Look what he have got to enjoy every day. Stay away from me or I'll spit in your face. My pleasure. Be quick, Sadie. He moved towards your face and you kept your face away as much as possible, but suddenly someone stormed in, making you sigh in relief. Oh, your super hot husband is here for you. How dare you bring my wife here? Where are my containers? I just need to know that. I have safely delivered all your containers outside this building. Now leave her. So, the biggest mafia leader the world has ever seen knows how to obey what I say, right? Well, didn't you put up with it all? Now, if you agree to one more thing I say, I'll let your wife free. Shango gritted his teeth and looked at his opponent who was exploiting him impatiently. Blurt it out. I want to beat you. Not a single blow, but until my fear is over. I want to beat you until you spit blood, but you must not respond if you want your wife alive. And saying this, he snapped his finger. Two of his cards came to either side of your chair, and two knives were pointed at either side of your neck, which made Jungkook take a step forward, but Xavier stopped him. Don't be stupid. The time you walk over there is enough time for the knife to plunge into your neck. Jungkook took a step back and looked at you, earning a helpless stare. Come on, I'm ready. I know you're willing to do anything for your wife, but I mustn't be stupid. Give me those two guns you always carry with you for your safety. You burst into tears because you know your husband would do the same for you. You couldn't even imagine seeing him beaten in front of you. It broke your heart that all this happened because of your mistake. Just like you guessed, Jungkook took those two guns and handed them to Xavier. After throwing it away, Xavier started beating Jungkook in no time at all. Without moving a single step forward or backward, Jungkook was holding on tightly and taking each of his blows for you. Please stop it. I beg you, don't hurt him. But he was not listening to what you were saying and he was harassing Jungkook as if he had given up his life for this. Blood started to pour out from various parts of his face and it paralyzed your entire body, and you finally said again in your tired voice, Please stop. He burst out laughing like a monster, looking at Jungkook who was bathed in blood. Are you done? Now leave her. His lips and cheeks were too tight to say it, but for you he said it. But my anger has not subsided and maybe killing you will end it. Not keeping his word, he took a gun and placed it on Jungkook's forehead, making your eyes widen. No, the sight brought you to the brink of unconsciousness. But these words came out of Jungkook without letting your fear grow. You're not the one for that. If you want to kill me, it won't happen unless I agree. He clapped his hands together and suddenly a lot of men in black came out with guns from different directions and first shot the guards who were pointing knife at you. Jungkook disarmed Xavier and grabbed him by the neck and pinned him against the nearby wall and held him up so that his feet didn't touch the floor. When Xavier was half out of breath, he took another gun from inside his jacket. You're wrong. I am now carrying 3 guns for my own protection. Well then, have a nice trip. Needless to say, Jungkook missed the bullet, but for Xavier, he lost his life. Jungkook was looking in the mirror and applying medicine to the injured area. You said you would help, but he said no, and you have been crying ever since. But suddenly you remembered something and you couldn't help but ask him. You could have called your men in the first place. Did you have to endure all the beatings he gave you? Jungkook put the first aid box aside and sat on the couch without sparing a single glance at you. Aren't you angry with me? Then why are you thinking about all that? Not only that I mistakenly slapped you that day, but you won't hit me back anyway, so I thought somehow let me get the punishment. At least your anger would be a little less. Now you started crying in front of him harder than little children. I'm sorry. I didn't even expect it to be like this. If you want to slap me right now, I won't say anything. I deserve it. I won't whine, but let me ask you something and you have to answer sincerely. I'm even ready to lose my life for you, and you can't even forgive me for a wrong tattoo I did by mistake. I feel like your love is only in words. You flinched at the question because you loved him so much that you couldn't bear an act on his part. There are mistakes on your part. You didn't even accept his apology. You didn't give him a chance to say sorry. You just ignored him. You kept ignoring him despite his hint of danger. You did not take his word for granted and brought his life to the point of danger. You were at a loss for words and finally had to do just that. You hugged him tightly. I'm sorry. Don't just say I don't love you. I love you a lot. Don't hate me for this, please. I'll not live a single day with your hatred. He hugged you back and patted your back to comfort you. It's okay. I get it. And leave it. It's over. You pulled back from the hug and gently caressed his face full of bruises, still sniffing. Does this hurt? No, it's fine when the whole face is pressed. Realizing he was teasing you gave him a light slap on his hand.